Vijay is a mass movie star and he has a huge following in the state. Since Tamil Nadu is very much steeped in Dravidian politics, there was a lot of resistance you could see visibly in the media as well. Many of them just writing him off even before he comes.
2026, the election is going to be a done deal because it's going to be Vijay versus Uday versus Annamalai. In this special edition of Talking Sense with Srini, we are here to discuss the man of the moment, the flavor of the season, actor Vijay's political plunge. So thank you very much for joining us and for taking your time out to come all the way to Akshayam here.
Thanks, Vijay. You know, what is interesting about Tamil Nadu is you cannot take entertainment out of politics here. Cinema and politicians are very intertwined. You know, you can go back to history and you will find all this string coming all along from, you know, Anna to Karunanidhi to MGR to, you know, all those, you know, finally now you have Vijay coming. So it's very exciting. You want to discuss this on a weekend.
Absolutely. So I think, you know, let me begin with this Vikravandi first man the conference that Vijay is planning to, you know, set up. So there's widespread anticipation among the public, no second thoughts, and I think newsrooms also going gung-ho with this. But I think, I mean, are we headed into some kind of a blockbuster weekend this week?
Yeah, so let's look at this way. Vijay is a mass movie star and he has a huge following in the state. And there has been a huge build-up. The first question was whether he'll be able to hold this at all. I mean, that's a question because, you know, there were a lot of speculation whether he'll be given a permission to hold it, and then there are rains, now the Diwali is coming, and it's in Vikravandi, this place which is chosen is next to an highway, whether all those things will happen. So, you know, in a way, also a lot of here in the media, since Tamil Nadu is very much steeped in Dravidian politics, there was a lot of resistance you could see visibly in the media as well. Many of them just writing him off even before he comes. And there are a lot of people very excited, youngsters especially, who thought something, I mean, they could see something new. So, you know, it's that itself, I think, has helped him kind of building up a hype. And then the way now you see what is coming out in the media about the preparations. Apparently 85 acres of land have been acquired. The entire, they're going to put a green carpet, so that even if it rains, the water is drained out quickly. And you know, it's the build-up is almost like he's a film star in any case, and as if he's going to do a big show there. So they have built a ramp, 100, you know, so it's a huge ramp, and he's going to walk on the ramp and talk, and there's going to be a fan pit. Perhaps people are going to, almost like what it happens in concerts, perhaps people are going to stand there and cheer him. And there's a 100-feet pole, flag pole, which they have put up there so that people can see from a distance that there is something happening here. So a lot of such surround things are also being built. I'm told lots of drones are going to be used. A lot of CCTVs have been installed. He has created special sections for women, and he has also advised who should be coming, who shouldn't be. So a lot of things happening. So it has given a build-up, almost like a filmy aura to this whole thing. Yeah.
So I think you've been in the industry for, you know, 4 decades right now, right? I mean, you've seen the rise and fall of many politicians, Rahul Gandhi, you know, and a lot of other people as well. So how do you assess Vijay's, you know, foray into politics? Because, you know, we spoke to political analysts as well. Some say, look, you know, it's going to be, it's a lot of fragility out there. While some say, look, it could be a watershed moment in Dravidian politics. How do you assess these conditions?
Look, politics is not, you know, if we had to use a cricket analogy, it's not a, you know, it's not a T20 kind of a game. Okay. It doesn't start and finish in one day. It's not even like a, you know, a test series of 5 days. It's actually much bigger. Oh. It's almost like it's going to go for years and decades. Let's look at a few examples. The latest person who at a national scene is showing up is Rahul Gandhi. Absolutely. He joined politics somewhere in 2004. And he has an equal charisma. Now, what is the plus point of Vijay? He is well known. He has a charisma. Similarly, Rahul is well known. He's the fifth, perhaps, descendant of the Gandhi Nehru family. So he is very well known. But he joined politics in 2004, wins an election from Methi, and then for next 10 years he is almost unknown. I mean, he won another election, but he's hardly credited as a credible politician. In 2014 again he wins, 2019 he loses, and then he starts his Padayatra. He goes and stays with the people, walks literally 10,000 kilometers. Actually, he has walked 10,000 kilometers. And then you can say that he's finding his feet as a politician. So politics is a long-term game, and you have to be amongst the people and build your forte. And then you must have an ideology. You must tell people clearly what your point of view is. What is it you're thinking? So all these things must happen to Vijay as well, and that I haven't seen so far. So if you take the case of other politicians from Tamil Nadu, people take MGR's name. MG Ramachandran was a big film star, but he was in politics for a very long time. He was in DMK for a very long time before he branched off and launched his own AIDMK. Before DMK, he was in Congress party. So, he's been a part of the entire political ecosystem for a very long time. And that's how people started recognizing. And he used uh, the cinema as a medium to deliver a certain social message. So, to be successful in politics, and same with Jayalalitha. Jayalalitha has gone through lots of ups and downs before she succeeded. So it's a rough, long path one has to take. And Vijay is now just making a beginning. Let's see how it goes.
So you also brought this topic.
So why don't you have a bit of halwa?
Absolutely.
So that I also get a chance to bite and see what actually Akshay has to offer. So, okay, it all seems very rich.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me ask you about, since you brought the topic of ideologies here. I think there's a whole bunch of Dravidian ideology that's revolving here, right? And Vijay, I feel, has been like, there's a bit of a dilemma, is what I personally feel, because, he garlanded Periya. He also wished for Saraswati Puja. So, I mean, he had this initial, letterheads coming with his tilak and all that. And now the tilaks have been removed, and he's been putting out letterheads without tilaks. So, I mean, what is this? How much an ideology actually matters? Because BJP is winning on its ideology, which is Hindutva, and same way for the DMK as well. Do you think ideology actually matters to a layman?
It does. In Tamil Nadu, two things particularly matter. One is the language identity. Language is very, very strong identity in Tamil Nadu. So people who come from outside may not understand that, and they may take some time to get it, but it's very, very important. Second is, whatever you may say, the Dravidian politics of last 5 or 6 decades has steeped in consciousness a certain a social ideology in people. So there is a certain transformation which has happened in the society, and politics has been a very powerful instrument in that. And Dravidian ideology has played a significant role here, and you cannot wish it away. If you have to go back, Congress party, it had a very strong ideology, independence as an ideology. They wanted to free this nation from the clutches of British. So there is certain thing which is now. The other one which BJP is now propagating is right-wing ideology of, it's completely, with a focus on Hindutva, Hinduism, religion, those kind of things. But they have a clear path. So it is important for a politician to very clearly say what is it he stands for. And this mix of everything that some politicians seem to think that will work. This is also being described as, post-ideology parties. There is certain description, like if you want to give an example of that, you may look at Arvind Kejriwal in Delhi. So people believe that, because he also uses these religious symbols.
Absolutely. Yeah.
On the other hand, he also pushes a lot of welfare work. So there are politicians who are trying to come up, but whatever. But you need to, at least if you want to survive in Tamil Nadu, you have to have very sharp focus.
The political outfit also has been named in an interesting way, right? He's called it Tamuraga Vetri Karagam, right? I mean, the operative word I believe is Tamuraga here, where he is hinting out at Tamil nationalism. So I think Seaman is doing it. So I mean, but do you think there could be ample scope for acceptance among the people for Tamuraga in a Dravidian heartland?
Okay, so if you look at his the name of the party, one is Tamilagam. Like I said earlier, Tamil is an important identity
Yeah.
in Tamil Nadu. It's a given. The other identity which people have been using is Dravidian. If you look at other parties, they'll always have this D word. He
Yeah.
hasn't used that. And instead, he has introduced a new element here. Maybe Vijay's own ideology. Vijay means victory,
Victory, absolutely.
and that's what
Okay.
victory. So that's another thing.
Mm.
And then there is Karagam, which is a kind of terminology, which is Dravida Karagam.
Yeah.
So I think he is trying some new concoction
Of everything.
of everything.
Okay.
But like would be proof ultimately would be in the pudding. How
Absolutely.
it actually turns out. So one has to see how he speaks as he moves ahead in politics. So far, he's been very quiet. He's not saying too many things. So we need to know um, what is the stand he takes on uh, issues.
Key issues.
So as of now, it's all he's speaking more in generality. Like he says, all educated people should join politics. I mean, what is it? I mean, it doesn't mean much. Middle class or anybody would think, yeah, why not? Educated people should come into politics like any other profession. So what's the difference? Um, the other thing which he's saying is, he probably does a lot of welfare activity. So most people do it, like Vijay Kant used to do it. He will open his doors for anybody to have a meal. He will, if somebody is short of fee, he'll pay the college or school fee. He'll help somebody with a hospital bill. He used to do those kinds of things. Many people do that. They kind of a social work. When they find someone needs help, they go to the person and try to help him or help her out. But can these alone be criteria to be in politics or a successful politician? I doubt. So he has to craft a particular uh, thinking for his party, and he needs to deliver.
There's also this question of whose cart he will upturn. AIDMK is not in a great position under Edapadi K. Palaniswamy. The DMK certainly has solidified its position. They brought in Udaynithi Stalin as a next year apparent for the party as well. And the BJP is banking on Annamalai's factor. So, Emo, but do you think Actor Vijay is trying to sort of, bring about an anti-Dravidian party mascot in Tamil Nadu?
So actually, his entry is very interesting because, like you were mentioning, Udaynithi. Udaynithi is same age group as him,
Yeah.
and they both are young, and they have a long career ahead of them. Udaynithi is also a film actor. He's also, follow the same route. What does acting does? It actually you get across to a whole lot of people. So people recognize you
Yeah.
instantly. So it gives you immediate visibility. So Udaynithi has. Plus, he's a dynast. He's a third generation dynast. After Karunanidhi, after Stalin, he's a third entrant. So this is the advantage he has. Now, the advantage Vijay doesn't have is he has power. He is the help of his dad and the entire DMK cadre, and those are his strength. And as opposed to that, Vijay, what would be his strength? He's a kind of somebody new, and there is always a section in Tamil Nadu which think that we need to have other kind of politics, an alternate to Dravidian kind of politics. That space is already always there. So who occupies that space is a big question. Whether that space is occupied by BJP is making those attempts to get an entry and get that space. And they have got a small chunk of that, I would say, after the arrival of Annamalai. Again, Annamalai is a young politician and he's a police officer who's talking, very aggressively. So there is a certain crowd which is attracted towards him as well. So all these three leaders are a kind of, and then you have the other person who's Seaman, he's raising Tamil nationalism. Again, is a young fellow. So Tamil Nadu politics He's of course getting much,
Absolutely.
younger, because the older politicians are kind of retiring
Retire.
after. so,
Yeah.
so there is a space. So the clash is going to be among these people. Therefore, a new, playground is being laid, and therefore it makes Vijay's entry very interesting.
Interesting. So I'm going to ask you a straightforward question since you brought all these people out here, right? I mean, so you think 2026 the election is going to be a done deal because it's going to be DMK, Vijay versus Uday versus Annamalai versus Seeman. Is this how you see it? And you think leverages with Uday because of his
Uh,
political clout?
So you haven't included anybody from AIDMK.
Absolutely, yeah.
So Edapadi is still there. Look, you cannot write off senior politicians like this. All I'm trying to say is there is a playground in which the youngsters are also making entry and they are going to be influential. It doesn't mean that Edapadi, who is the chief of AIDMK, is going to go away or other, because these people will all be there. But the youngsters, obviously, youngsters in the sense that they're all in the 50s now,
50s,
but
yeah.
in politics they're very young. They have just made an entry. Therefore, there is a new kind of atmosphere you would see. But these politicians are there, and it's not as if you can wish them away. And it is important that this particular 2026, how do we look at it? In my view, it is going to be the guidance would come from Stalin. Udaynidhi would be, facing the most of the um, groundwork he'll be doing. He'll be more on the field. Similarly, you would see more action on the field coming from, BJP's Annamalai. You would see Seeman more. You would see Vijay coming in. See all of them more. But the senior politicians are still going to be around.
Okay, so one last question, sir. I think the Manad is out there. There's going to be a Kutti story, signature Kutti story, which I keep selling in every event. So, and political punches as well. So, but what do you think, the people got to be expecting from this? What are the headlines? What are the takeaways that we should be looking out for?
Yeah. Okay. So, what is that people would look for, and especially what journalists would be looking for? I would try to say, obviously, there is a lot of attention being given to this uh, Manadu
Conference,
or
yeah.
conference. Uh, there are a lot of people looking at it. Political class is looking at it very carefully because they don't want to take any new competition easily, whether it is DMK or AIDMK or BJP. All of them want to look at Vijay carefully. Vijay may not become chief minister in 2026, but he'll at least garner enough votes. I still don't know how the politics is going to play out, but I'm sure that the way others are looking at that, he will have some vote share, at least because he has a huge fan club, which may disturb, or everybody would like to have him on his side. There's another possibility. So the political class is going to look at him very carefully. The journalists are going to look out for what is the kind of, uh, you know, uh, what is the kind of ideology he's going to come out with, how he's articulating his viewpoint, what is the message he's sending across, what is it people are going to look out for. See, a whole lot of fan club is very, very hopeful. I mean, they are slightly blind, but you look at other common people, people look for solutions of their day-to-day issues.
Yeah.
There are a number of problems still plaguing the society. Let's not forget, Tamil Nadu is doing better than other states. Whether you take any social indicator, human indicators, we are better off than other states. But there is a poverty here as well. It's less than other states, but then there is certain poverty. There's an unemployment is still there. The corruption is all over. You can see people may not explicitly talk about it, but there is. Uh, so these are the factors they want some relief from. So people are looking out. But let's not blind ourselves saying that, okay, um, they are all going to look at fair things only
Yeah.
and just forget. One thing we must not forget, it may sound not very politically correct, money too plays an important role in Tamil Nadu elections. Uh, and the voters look at that as well, unfortunately, because this is one trend which has been there for a very long time. Election Commission has tried out lots of things, hasn't happened, and EC itself as a credibility is pretty low nowadays. but that's another important factor you really don't know. So people look out for multiple factors during election, and when somebody comes, they look at him, they give him a fresh look, and as of now, there is a lot of mm, mixed vibes coming from people, and we will get to know more and more as we proceed.
Absolutely. I think, well, I'm not sure about what's going to happen with Vijay and his Manad, but I'm sure Tamil journalism is at an inflection point. You're going to have it grabs a popcorn of all these stars entering into politics. It's going to be 2026. It's going to be a battle of stars. So, always great talking to you, sir. Thank you very
Let's
much.
hope so. Thank you very much.
Yeah.